Hey guys, this is Russ with another dual boot video, and today I'm going to show you how to dual boot Windows 10 and Ubuntu 16.0.4. So this process is really simple, does not take you long at all, and you'll be able to dual boot your machine within 10 to 20 minutes. So I'm not going to waste any more time guys, and jump straight into the video. So guys, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos on how to dual boot Windows 10 and Ubuntu. However, the ones I've seen, they're really time consuming, they require a lot of things, and it's not really convenient when you need to dual boot your machine really fast and you don't have much time. So my method is much simpler than the ones on YouTube. It does not require you to change any of your BIOS settings. It doesn't require you to need a USB. All you need to have in this tutorial is a hard drive where you can install Ubuntu. So the minimum required space is 20 gigabytes, I think, so you will need 20 gigabytes. However, I think you should have a little bit more than 20 because if you're going to need to store files on Ubuntu, the operating system, you will need more than 20 gigabytes because there won't be any space left if you just install it with 20 gigabytes. So I recommend you have at least 30 to 40 gigabytes on that drive. So once you have all those things, you can jump straight into the tutorial. So guys, the first step is you're going to jump straight into your browser and navigate to this website, and I'll put a link in the description for that website. And here we'll give you a list of versions of Ubuntu you can install. So the latest version of Ubuntu here is 16.10. However, my tutorial is on 16.0.4, but if you want to select the latest version of Ubuntu, this process is virtually identical, so you can select this one. But since my tutorial is on 16.0.4, I'm going to scroll down and navigate to 16.0.4. So you can see it'll tell you the new changes and the updates and bug fixes. But here you have to navigate to the Downloads tab, and it'll say something like wubi 16.0.4 exe. So whatever the version is, it'll say that, and it'll say .exe, so download the exe file. It will download, and you can run it. So I'm going to wait for it to download and get back to you. So guys, I'm back and wubi is installed. So I'm going to run the wubi executable file, select yes, and you'll be taken to this screen. Just give it a second to load up. It sometimes takes a little while. So you can see it'll say Ubuntu installed there. It'll say you're about to install Ubuntu 16.0.4. And now it'll ask you to select the installation drive. So guys, we haven't created a partition for Ubuntu yet, so it'll only display C drive. And C drive is the partition or drive where you have installed Windows 10 on. So don't click select C drive. We need to do this another step before, because if you do select C drive, it will format and ruin your Windows 10 partition. So before we do that, we'll need to create a partition specifically for Ubuntu. So this does not take too long. There's a tool that's built in Windows where it does it for you. So click on your Start menu button, navigate to Disk Management. So to get to Disk Management, go to your Control panel, search for Administrative Tools, and below Administrative Tools you will see Create and Format Hard Disk Partition. So that's the one you want to select. So select that, and it'll be taken to Disk Management. So in Disk Management, you'll be displayed with a certain amount of volumes, and the only volume I have on here is C drive, and that's where I've installed Windows 10. And you can see my capacity is 151, and I have 133 gigabytes of free space. So we'll need to create a partition for Ubuntu. So it's pretty simple. Just right click on the drive you want to create a partition for, select shrink volume. It'll say query and shrink space, and here it will ask you how much you want to allocate to the new partition. So I'm not really going to use Ubuntu for now. I already have another PC where I'm using Ubuntu, so I'm only going to allocate around 30 gigs. So beware that it's asking you how much you want to allocate in megabytes. So make sure that you know that there's a conversion rate for gigabytes to megabytes to gigabytes. So in my case, I'm going to select. I'm going to put 30,000. Yep, 30,000. And 30,000 just means 30 gigabytes. So here I'm going to shrink it. So I'm going to select my amount, select shrink, and it will shrink it for us. So you can see here I've got a certain amount is unallocated, So we're going to right click on it because we need to assign it a letter so we can, when we go back to wubi, we can select it. We're going to right click on the unallocated space, click on new simple volume, and we'll be taken to a wizard. So select next. We've already assigned the maximum volume, so we don't have to do anything here. Select next and assign the following letter drive. So I'm going to select E as my drive, select next, and click format this volume with NTFS, select default, and name it whatever you want. Now since I'm installing Ubuntu on it, I'm going to type in Ubuntu as the partition name, select next, click on finish, and now we have a drive where we can install Ubuntu on. So now we can go back to wubi. So 1 second, and I'm going to go back to wubi. So guys, this management has finished creating a partition for Ubuntu. So we're going to go back to wubi and select our installation drive. So if it does not show up the installation drive, just exit out of wubi. Go back into wubi, select yes, and wubi should show your new drive. So just give it a sec to load up, and select the new partition you made. So the new partition I made is I assigned it E. So you're gonna select the one you made. So the one I made is E colon. Select the installation size, leave it as it is, so because it will work fine when you do it. Select Ubuntu as the desktop environment. Select the language, whatever language you want it to be, and create a username. So I'm just gonna name it russ mehta because that's my name. So let's make it russ mehta. Yep. Let's make a password. So you will need a root password in order to use Ubuntu. So my root password is gonna be 1234. 1234 just to confirm it. So now that we have all our settings set, we're going to click on install, and it will start downloading the Ubuntu ISO file. So it'll say Windows Firewall has blocked some features of this app. Just since it's installing an ISO image, sometimes Windows blocks it. Don't worry about that, just select allow access. And Ubuntu will start going through the installation. So it'll install the ISO file, then get any files necessary, and then you'll be able to install Ubuntu. So I'm going to speed this process up so you guys don't have to view it, because it might take up to 10 minutes, so I don't want to make this video too long. So I'll get back to you when it's finished. So guys, once wubi's finished doing its thing, it will display a message like this. It'll say, completing the Ubuntu setup wizard, you need to reboot to complete the installation. So select reboot now, and it will reboot you to Ubuntu's official installation. So select reboot now, select finish, and your computer will restart. So give it a sec to restart, and Ubuntu will start installing. And once it's rebooting, it will be into Ubuntu's installation. So yeah guys, it'll say completing the Ubuntu installation, and it'll give a 3-second countdown, and then it will take you to Ubuntu's installation. So you can see it's just writing some stuff, and so you can see Ubuntu's official logo comes up. So here, they've already set all the settings because before in wubi in its tutorial, we already set that. And yeah, Ubuntu's loading up. So guys, give it a sec, it will boot up again, and you'll be in Ubuntu's installer. So you can see guys, it says installing. It's verifying the installation configuration, detecting the file systems, and it'll start installing. So this process may take a little while depending on your internet connection. So guys, I'm going to speed this up for you and get back to you once it's finished. So guys, the Ubuntu installation is finished, and I've booted back into Windows. So if it's successful, it should probably give you the option to boot between Ubuntu and Windows. And since I was idle, I did not select Ubuntu, and I selected Windows. So to show you guys that Ubuntu did finish installing, I'm going to sign back into Windows, restart my computer, and show you that it'll give me the option to dual boot between Ubuntu and Windows. So right click, select restart, and my computer should restart. So give it a couple of seconds to restart, and give it a couple of seconds. And now guys, when I do boot, so now guys, when I restart my computer, it gives me the option to boot between Windows 10 and Ubuntu. So you can also select and click below and select change a default. So you can make your default Ubuntu or Windows 10. So it depends what you want, what you use more. If you're just using Ubuntu, then you can make it the default. Or if you use Windows 10 more, you can select Windows 10 as the default. So when you turn on your computer, it automatically in 10 seconds will boot into Windows 10. Or if you make it vice versa, it'll be Ubuntu. So guys, to show you that it actually boots into Ubuntu, I'm going to select Ubuntu, because I already showed you boot into Windows. And it should work. So give it about a minute to minute and a half to finish booting. And click enter to select Ubuntu. And it should run some code the first time it boots. Yep, just give it a second. So now it should boot into Ubuntu. So you can see that I have the Ubuntu screen here. And I can select my, enter my password. So my password is 1234, as I stated in wubi. And it should log me into Ubuntu. So you can see here, I am in Ubuntu now. So I can go to my terminal and run some commands. And then I can use Ubuntu as a normal Ubuntu machine, as you can see here. So guys, this is how to do Ubuntu. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you had any issues on this, comment them below, and I'll try my best to help you with them. But you should have no worries or no trouble during this process. And yeah, so thank you for watching, and peace out. Bye-bye.